Sound like some Viking music, don't it?
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go, let's go.
Shooting lights out.
That's right. I am in the building. I didn't forget. Trust me. And this guy over here, I know it's summertime, but you ain't going to no beach. That's why you muted. That's why you on mute. Well, he's having technical difficulties. But yes, I'm in the building, shooting lights out on a Monday as our regular scheduled time. Nope. Still no sound from one Cole Johnson. While he's working on that, hope y'all enjoying your NBA Finals thus far. We are 2 games in, and we have a split heading to the upper Midwest of Indianapolis. We're going to talk about games 1 and 2 today. We're also going to talk about the WNBA, what weekend they had, and there was a team I'm about to go off on. I'm really going to have to go off on because it is some of the worst basketball I have ever watched. And those of you who are faithful followers of Shooting Lights, so y'all know I watch a lot of basketball from the NBA, men's and women's college basketball, and the WNBA. So when I say some of the worst basketball I have ever watched, I literally mean that, and I'm not proud of saying that, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But in the meantime, we got news and notes that we had to go over. So let's go around the hardwood. And to begin around the hardwood segment, Rick Pitino says absolutely not interested in coaching the New York Knicks for a second stint. He ain't the only one that said no, because Jay White said he is not coming out of retirement to coach the Knicks as well, which is interesting within itself. And we're going to try this again. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who's in summer form, Cole Johnson. No mic from Cole Johnson. This is getting interesting. Is your mic hooked up correctly, sir? While you figure that out, I'm having fun with the Knicks. Unfortunately, the Spencer Wise are healthy, but I'm more focused on what Rick Pitino said because Rick Pitino said absolutely not. And this is what he said. He says, quote, I think whoever comes in, if he doesn't get to the finals, is going to be deemed an unsuccessful season. So whoever comes in has got so much pressure on them to take this team to the next level because that's why they are doing it, obviously, in their minds. And this is coming out the heels of them firing Tom Thibodeau after reaching the Eastern Conference Final for the first time in 25 years. So those of you who not very good at math, that means the start of the millennium or start of the century, whichever words you want to use. What's the last time the New York Knicks was in the Eastern Conference Finals? And if I remember that year, either that year or the year before, they lost to the Indiana Pacers. and the other year they made it to the finals. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, yes, I'm right. That year, 25 years ago, they lost to the Indiana Pacers. And Pacers ended up losing to the LA Lakers in the finals. But you see here. Really cold. Only Cole Johnson can use this to go at the Knicks. Only Cole Johnson. While he's still trying to work on his mic. I know I heard some static, so I don't know if he's good or not. But Whit Pitino says no. Jay White says he's not coming out of retirement to be in the midst for the New York Knicks head coaching job. This is very interesting. You ever done something in 25 years and you fired the coach that finally got you there, which makes things very, very interesting up in New York. Does anybody want the New York Knicks job at this point? I don't know. But I do know this. Two great college coaches says no. Yet again, I hear static coming from Cole Johnson. And that's about it.
This crap.
What
bull?
Now we hear Cole Johnson.
What bull?
Not in the way you probably want to hear. The mic's on now. But I don't know if you like the sound that you have going on.
Bunch of crap. Restream, you're fired.
Restream's fired?
I hate Restream.
Why Extreme Yard too, but that's a different story.
I don't even want to know that story.
Well, I would be like a Knicks fan. I'll be like a Knicks fan talking about StreamYard.
That's not good at all. Anyway, Memphis Grizzlies center Zach Edey will be missing the start of the season with a ankle injury.
What?
You still having problems over there?
Yeah, it's reading the wrong mic. Wow. I'm sorry. Former Purdue player, center for the Grizzlies. He's going to be missing season. Get well, big fella. Be better than how Restream is with my mics.
Oh boy.
Reading the wrong mics.
Great to have Coach Johnson. Great to have Coach Johnson back on a Monday.
Lord have mercy.
All right, how's that?
There you go. Now you can come on screen because you don't need to see the Knicks no more.
Good.
And for this portion of the episode, for this portion of this segment, you ain't talking NBA after this. You're going to your other favorite subject.
Oh, you mean dumb fan?
Well, not that one.
Dumb WNBA fan?
No, not that one.
Oh,
okay.
To the gotcha. Yeah, I figured that.
BYU Kevin Young gets a long-term extension to stay at BYU. The details are disclosed, so we don't know how long it is. But he did guide BYU to the Sweet 16 this past postseason in March Madness, which is, I think, the first time they've ever been to the Sweet 16, if I'm correct.
Reading my mics wrong.
So BYU's keeping their coach, hoping they can build on a great season from this past season. But now let's get to the
pick up the right mic. My bad.
I'm gonna need you to channel that energy to this. Judge OK's $2.8 billion settlement paving a way for colleges to pay athletes. If y'all are new to Shooting Lights Out, this is one of the things Coach John's been waiting on ever since we talked about it doing bearing down the gridiron, which means college football season.
Okay, what you want me to say?
This is what you've been waiting on.
It's about time that somebody in the upper reaches of this country actually says to these programs, pay these athletes. No, don't do the NIL crap. Don't do any other sideline deals. Don't sell us this crap saying, oh, we do amateur sports and amateur athletics. We have a pristine pride that basically the name on the front of the jersey means more than the name on the back of it. Shut up.
Anyway, schools are now free to begin paying their athletes directly, marking the dawn of a new era in college sports. Brought about a multi-billion-dollar legal settlement that was formally approved Friday.
Unfortunately, though, we're going to be seeing a disparity. Now, I'm sure football players will be broken off money. I'm sure both men's and women's basketball will have some money. Starting probably with baseball / softball and on down. If they see a trickle, I'll be surprised.
The deal was approved between the NCAA and its most powerful conferences. Lawyers representing all Division I athletes. The House versus NCAA settlement ends 3 separate federal antitrust lawsuits, all of which claim the NCAA was illegally limiting the earning power of college athletes.
Oh, and then we ain't gonna talk about HBCUs. NCAA pay them niggers.
So we talking $2.8 billion in back damages over the next 10 years to athletes who competed in college at any time from 2006 to present day.
Hey, NCAA. So Ed O'Bannon was wrong. I can't hear you. Say it louder. That's what I thought, chumps.
Moving forward, each school can pay its athletes up to a certain amount. The annual cap is expected to start at roughly $20.5 million per school in 2025-2026 and increase every year during the decade-long deal. These new payments are in addition to scholarships and other benefits athletes already receive.
Hey, Michigan, you liked how you slandered Chris Webber's name all over the place, right? You love the fact that you shut him up to where he couldn't say a thing, and you made him feel horrible because you decided not to claim 2 Final Four trips in back-to-back years because you're saying, well, he stained the reputation of the organization and Michigan. Shut up. Now I want to hear a big old I am sorry. We slapped your hand for 30 years to that man. Your apology has to be bigger. Forget as big. Your apology has to be bigger than the disrespect. And it ain't loud enough.
Vivo, who are you talking to?
Come on, Maize and Blue. You better come up with the I'm sorry, Chris. We were absolute hoes.
Here's where things get a little interesting. MLB executive Brian Selly is to be the CEO of this new era of college sports.
Okay, so we have an exec of the sport that actually has the strongest union in professional ranks. My question will be, will he want to actually ferment the health of having a unionized college ranks? My answer would be, but it's a thought.
Yeah. Brian Seeley was named CEO of the new college sports commission on Friday night, which is later on the day that the judge made his approval.
Oh, NCAA. Get on your job, and you better apologize to Reggie Bush now.
Well, they gave him his Heisman back.
Don't give me that he gave the Heisman back crap. You crapped on that man's name for about 15 years. I apologize to that man.
Sources told ESPN that Celia has been the target for the role for Reach, and the long-awaited formation of the House settlement triggers his hire. The sources also tell ESPN that Celia is expected to make 7 figures in a new role as he quickly becomes one of the most prominent figures in college sports.
I don't think you heard me. Let me say it to the back. Apologize to Reggie Bush now. USC, NCAA. Apologize to him. Now. Suckers.
With this new settlement in place, the NCAA will no longer be in charge of the enforcement for most rules. It will still maintain preview over things like academics, but it will not patrol benefits.
They ain't in charge of their brain matter because they're stupid. You try to stain these athletes' names when they play for your organizations, and yes, I'm gonna call them organizations, not programs. And now you all are hush hush and quiet because, well, Ed O'Bannon ain't getting justice. Although, yeah, he got monetary justice, but you still were like, well, that's not really what amateur athletics is all about, and still cropped on his name. Chris Webber and Reggie Bush. I know Reggie Bush, he played football, not basketball, but still, it's under the crappy NCAA umbrella where if you open it, dung drops on you. And I'm not talking about from the outside, I'm talking about from in.
Silly's job is described as to build out the organization's investigation and enforce teams and oversees all of his ongoing operations, stakeholder relationship. They will be responsible for enforcing the new rules around revenue sharing, student athlete, third party name, image, and likeness, NIL deals, and roster limits. We're gonna have to see how this works out when the football season get here, because this go take. And Coach Johnson knows this, and those of you who follow stuff like this know this. The first year gonna be probably chaos with all of this.
Oh yeah.
How many years do you think will it take for it we see it actually in place?
In place?
Yeah.
I'd probably say 3.
3 years?
Yeah, I'll say 3 years.
Okay.
If you all thought the transfer portal was something, watch this.
He says 3 years, so schools will begin paying their athletes in less than a month, thanks to this settlement approval that was groundbreaking for the NCAA. Starting July 1st, each school would be allowed, but not required, to spend roughly $2.5 million in new payments to their athletes. That figure comes from a negotiating formula that caps athlete payments at 22% of the average annual revenue of the FBS level schools get from ticket sales, broadcasting rights, and a few other items. And
now,
those of you who don't know what FBS stands for, that's the football. That is football.
Now you're gonna have a whole lot of questions because the AD and the deans of the schools are gonna be like, oh, we didn't want to deal with this headache. When you have one of these athletes say, you're not paying me how much I'm worth. I bring how much of the school, and you chumps are paying me how little? I can't wait. Oh, this is gonna be beautiful. This is gonna be better than Young and the Restless.
Oh Lord, he compared it to a soap opera. Good gracious. This is going to be very interesting. And good thing it starts around football season. Which means there's a lot of materials for one Coach Johnson. Good gracious. What can I tell you? It's going to be a lot of things going on in the NCAA once football season kicks off in about 2 months. time. 2.5 months.
Working with raw mic.
And you still on that. Man, your mic is working now.
Restream should be. Oh no, the mic is on. Drat.
So you did that on purpose. You did it on purpose. We're gonna take a break so Cole Johnson can vent out some more frustration before we go to the other frustration.
Redream sucks.
We'll be back.
Feel a little better.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Into the Net FC. Kylian Mbappe just all of a sudden finally understood his role, and I think he finally understood that everything Kylian Mbappe has accomplished already, there is still a hell of a lot waiting for him in the future. Kylian Mbappe is only 24 years old. He has accomplished so much, and you know what? Kylian Mbappe has not even reached his prime. Finally seeing, the Marcus Rashford we have been hoping for such a long time, But, this game, after everything Manchester United has been, doing lately, this was actually the ultimate test, to see if Manchester United, honestly was all of a sudden for real. I explained this. The United States, maybe they have to suffer this loss as a lesson to learn to prepare for the future. Because 4 years from now, the World Cup is in not one, not two, but 3 countries. The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Into the Net FC is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Get mounts of entertainment with Paramount Plus. Stream new movies such as Mean Girls, Transformers: Rise of the Beast, and Good Burger 2 with Paramount Plus. Stream live sports such as the UEFA Champions League, the NFL on CBS, the PGA Tour, and March Madness. Catch hit CBS shows such as Fire Country, Ghost, NCIS, and more. But also catch exclusive originals with Paramount Plus such as Special Ops Lioness, The Famous Stallones, the new streaming home of Showtime. Watch Showtime original series and movies when you sign up with Paramount Plus with Showtime. Make it a fun, action-packed adventure for the whole family and create kid-friendly profiles for the little ones. So much to stream with Paramount Plus with over 45,000 full episodes from BET, CBS, Comedy Central, MTV, Nickelodeon, and more. Paramount Plus, mountains of entertainment.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
And welcome back to Shooting Lights Out here. See? He kept talking trash about Restream, and Restream said, I can fix you. Wow.
Stream still suck. StreamYard still suck.
Wow.
Oh,
What did you do during the break for that to happen?
well, I tried to test to see if the mic I want to use is going to work, and Restream throws a middle finger at it and at me. So I had to go with my old reliable, which is great, but it's not gonna be the type of mic I want.
Do me a favor, exit out and come back in because I think you're behind.
I swear. First, the Fat Boys break up. Then I continue to turn to wake up.
Okay, you
Break
good
up.
now.
Then I wake up to
Wow. Coach Johnson. All types of issues going on over there. Oh, man. Unfortunately, he ain't the only one having issues now. We hit to the WNBA for their weekend recap here. Going back to Friday, June 6th, as we begin in the Connecticut Sun got their second win of the season as they beat the Atlanta Dream 84-76. Maria Marbury, 34 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. That was not a good L for the Atlanta Dream. And I'm pretty sure my co-host from Monster Wrestling, Cool McCain, is not happy about that. And the people in the ATL are not happy about that because Connecticut only won 2 games and one of them came against the Dream, which is very head-scratching to say the least. Very head-scratching. And it amazes me that things like this can still happen. As I told you Maria Marbury's numbers, but if I'm looking at the Atlanta Dream, I see Alicia Gray, probably her worst game of the season thus far. Early going, 11 points, 5 from 13 from the field. Ryan Howard did give you 18. She was 6 for 16 from the field, 3 for 10 on 3-pointers. Just not a good thing going on right about now. Just not. Hopefully, Atlanta will bounce back the next time they play. But a good win for Connecticut. Moving from one team to another, the Dallas Wings, they are struggling as well. They fall to 1-8 after Friday's night loss to the LA Sparks down in Big D. Yeah, you had a trio from the LA Sparks that I want to highlight. Azua Stevenson, 21 points, 8 for 11 from the field, 5 from 8 from 3-point range, 6 boards, 3 assists, 3 blocks. Dereka Hanby, 20 points with 4 boards. And then Odyssey Sims gave you 19 points with 4 boards and 3 assists. Good win for the Sparks. The Wings, they are still struggling to find themselves. It's definitely basically without Paige Beckers in the lineup, who I think yesterday or sometime this weekend after this game, clear concussion protocol, so she should be returning for the Dallas Wings next game. If my memory serves me correctly, Ariko Ogumawale was not having a great game Friday. 4 for 10 from the field, only 8 points. That's not good. Just not good whatsoever. Definitely not good. But Dallas got a new coach. Kind of got a new team, you know. Haynes Allen is new. Elisa Smith is new. Dejanay Carrington is new. So it's probably taking them some time to actually figure it out, so to speak, and try to get things going on the right track. But it's not going on the right track for some reason. But we shall see what's going to happen going forward. But they trying. I can give them that. They trying, but it's just not coming together right now. It's just not. Then we move to Saturday. And as we move to Saturday, the shocker of the week. Woo! I would love to say I didn't watch this game, but I did. And as I watch this game, I'm just sitting here looking like, is this the Las Vegas Aces that this is the same Las Vegas Aces, right? It was Golden State Valkyries, the first major statement win and it was a beating on the Las Vegas Aces. First ever meeting between the two teams, and wow, just I was stunned watching this game. It was like whatever Vegas tried to do and couldn't do, the Valkyries could. I was stunned from beginning to end of watching this game. Like Asia Wilson, 17-6. Chelsea Grace, 16. Jewel Lord, only 5. Jackie Young, only 4. I'm like, what is going on? And you can just look at Becky Hammond's face, and she had no answers. She didn't. Now, Kayla Thornton led the way with 22 points, 8 for 16 from the field, 4 from 8 from 3-point range, 11 boards. You had Burton gave you 12 assists. Thornton also gave, I did say 11 boards. She also gave you a couple of dimes as well. Monica Billings came off the bench with 14 and 11. Kay Martin came off the bench and gave you 12 with 7 boards. I mean, it was popping everywhere for Golden State. And something, I don't know what it was, but something, this, man, I don't know. I just don't know. I really don't. Now, Cole Johnson with a different problem. His screen is black. Are you there, Cole Johnson? If he is there, I don't hear him, so this is getting very interesting. But yeah, it is kind of sucks. I actually want to hear from Cole Johnson because Golden State did a number on Las Vegas. I mean, a real number. Didn't have that on my card over the weekend. That was stunning as hell. Very, very stunning. Now I got to get to another matter. The matter that I need to get to. Indiana Fever that was in the United Center to take on Chicago Sky. First time the Chicago Sky gets to play at the United Center. And as y'all see the score, I actually watched this game too. This game was on CBS primetime 8 o'clock on Saturday. 79-52. And no, Caitlin Clark did not play in this game. Caitlin Clark did not play in this game. Caitlin Clark missed it. Matter of fact, Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham both missed this game. They was on the bench, cheering their teammates on, doing their thing. But it was not on the court. Kelsey Mills with 17 points, 5 boards to lead the way for the Fever. Natasha Hyde gave you 13 and 5. Aaliyah Boston, who is the second best player on the team, 11, 5 and 5. That's all they needed to literally pick apart the Chicago Sky for the second time. Because the first time they met was opening day in Indiana, and they whooped their ass by like 30, maybe 35. Round 2 in Chicago without Caitlin Clark, without Sophia Cunningham. Matter of fact, even without Stephanie White. And shout out to Stephanie White. Hope you and what's going on with your parents. Hope y'all get that figured out. Prayers are sitting to you and your parents that she was not coaching this game. And they still did a number on the Chicago Sky. Oh boy. Where do I begin with the Chicago Sky? Where do I begin? Now, I know if we look at the record, if we look at the standings, and we see that the worst team in the WNBA, record-wise, is the Dallas Wings. They are 1-9. We didn't get to the other game yet. 1-9. Right above them is the Kinetic Suns 2-7, and then right above them is the Chicago Sky at 2-5. I hate to say this, but the Chicago Sky, thus far from what I've seen, he's the worst team in the WNBA. Now, I can go to the Wings schedule because I know some of you be like, well, did you have you watched Dallas? Okay. Like the Dallas Wings, they open up the season against the Minnesota Lynx. What you expect how that was gonna go? Okay. And then you followed up with a visit by the Seattle Storm. What do you think that was going? Like I'm just wondering. I'm really wondering. As Coach Johnson rejoins us. And then they had a rematch with the Minnesota Lynx. Out the gate, you targeting you 0-3 did Dallas win because you played the Lynx twice and you played Seattle in between. Then you had a matchup against the Atlanta Dream. Atlanta Dream got hot that night. It happens. Your only win came against the Connecticut Suns, and that was in Connecticut, by the way. You did lose to the Chicago Sky. That was by 5. And then Chicago got you again in the very next game, and they beat you. So Chicago got 2 victories over you. And then you met the Minnesota Lynx for a third time, which we didn't get to yet. So record-wise, you can positively say that the Dallas Wings is the worst basketball team in WNBA.
Yes! There is a God.
The Chicago Sky is the worst basketball team in the WNBA.
Oh!
The Chicago Sky is the worst basketball team in the WNBA.
No, it's supposed to be the Dallas Wings. They're supposed to be the worst team in WNBA.
Cole, I actually watched this game Saturday on CBS.
I'm sorry that you did.
And matter of fact, Cole Johnson, I have the next screen I'm gonna show you is going to prove to you why I said that. And I know you, and you're going to agree the fact that you love the fact that the Dallas Wings are 1-8. You ready for this?
Yes.
Tell me, what do you see?
I see a Nep scoring. That's what I see. Not a player scoring double figures in that game. That's hilarious. But Angel got 12 boards though. She did get a Sky player did get double digits in something. Well, no, yeah, 2 things. Angel Reese got double digits in rebounds, and unfortunately, Ms. Atkins got double digits in field goal attempts. There you go. Silver lining.
Without Caitlin Clark, without Sophia Cunningham, without Stephanie White coaching the team,
they get dog walked at home. Thank you, Jacob. Fatu. Yeah, they got dog walked at home. So I guess that 35-point victory in Indianapolis was a precursor.
That was with Caitlin Clark and not Sophia Cunningham.
So without key players, they can still put a thumping on the Sky.
There is no direction. There is no leadership. I have no idea what the Chicago Sky is supposed to look like. Watching this team play.
They had no idea what that team's supposed to look like. And this was something that we both said when this ragtag bunch got debuted against the Fever opening weekend of the season. They just look like a team that has no direction whatsoever.
At least Dallas has a direction. They just got to put it together.
Yeah, I just want them to continue to go downward, but that's a horse of a different color. Yeah, the Sky. Is it more important to be in the Met Gala than to play games?
Angel Reese only took 7 shots.
Just accent.
She only took 7 shots. Camilla Cardo's only 5 shots. Courtney Fantasy, she tore her ACL in the opening 5 minutes of the game. And it has been confirmed that she tore her ACL.
Mm.
I don't know if that would be the end of Courtney Vandersoop's career, but
I hope not. But doggone, that sucks.
Kiara Nurse only took 5 shots.
But that's really impressive, though. Just think about that. You go through a whole game and nobody scores double figures. That's impressive. You got to be historically bad to pull that off.
And it ain't like y'all don't have players that we don't know. We know Angel Reese. We know Camilla Cardozo. We know Kiara Nurse. We know Aria Atkins. We know Haley Van Lit.
It just seems like they have plans that the coaching staff don't know about.
If this was the Golden State Valkyries, we wouldn't be having this discussion. This is a whole new team. But now that Coach Johnson is back, the same day, this is what they did in Las Vegas.
Po Aces.
They first major statement was with the Aces.
Po Aces.
That was at 3:00 in the afternoon. You go to prime time at 8:00. This is what you get from Chicago.
I'm so glad that we saw Ron Killing's return. Wrong show. I'm so sorry. My bad. It ain't my bad, but my bad anyway.
These Chicago Sky, I have no idea what. And Taylor Marsh, I thought he would come in and have a game plan. You came from the Aces. You came under the leadership of Becky Hammond, winning 2 championships.
I'll put you like this. Seeing Ron Killings for 30 seconds in a PLE was more entertaining than watching the Sky play the Fever Saturday night. The whole game. Am I lying? That's what I thought.
And you know what made it so crazy? Guess who was part of the studio coverage for this game? Our favorite women's basketball coach.
Mm-hmm. Well, it couldn't be Becky Hammond.
Dawn Staley.
You know, it's sad that she had to watch this dog walk. It's sad that she had to watch this ridiculousness. Seeing a game like this will probably make a coach like Dawn Staley, which I don't think will happen, say, "Oh, I need to be on one of these sidelines in the WNBA."
Oh my gosh! Like this is ridiculous.
Dog walked, bro. They got dog. My jaw dropped. I'm like, wow. So you all decide to roll out the hardcore red carpet to open the United Center.
United. The first time they ever played at the United Center.
Not the UIC Pavilion, the United Center.
Where Michael Jordan has 6 championship banners hanging up in the Raptors. The same building where Derrick Rose won his MVP.
And unfortunately, the next time they roll up in the United Center, unless this team straightens up and flies right, you'll be seeing a lot of red seats.
That was... Look at the shooting percentages. 32.1 field goal percentage. 20% on 3-point shooting.
Why did they even attempt threes? If they made less than 1 out of 3 from the field, why even attempt threes?
This y'all can laugh at the Dallas Wings like with Cole Johnson because the Dallas Wings only won one game. And
I ain't laughing at the Wings. I want them to sink further than the abyss of an ocean.
But you watch Dallas Wings play and you watch Chicago play. You tell me which style you prefer watching.
Well, since you put it that way. Well, I'll put it like this. Against the Sun, there was a play where it looked like the Sky actually caught some sense. Where it was a beautiful entry pass in the Angel Reese, and she actually did a really good post move. She backed the defender up, got to the post, Then she faked going right, and she turned left, and she was on the right side of the goal. She faked right, turned left, sealed off her man or her woman, and it put up a really good shot. There is some fundamentals to be had, and there is some talent on this team, but for some reason, it is few and far between when you watch this team play.
They destroyed y'all, and Aaliyah Boss only had 11 points.
So currently the best player on the team on the Fever had an off night, and I'm not talking about off as in she was bad. I mean off as in, okay, well I can just put in a half, and that's pretty much it.
The other guard, who was the leading scorer, only put up 17.
And he still took a 20+ point butt whooping.
I don't know what to say about Chicago right now. And it's very painful for me to say that, and Cole Jones would tell you that.
I mean, yeah, you got Van Lith and Reese, 2 college teammates, 2 dogs on the team. You know, I mean, just those 2 alone make you think, okay, well, I think this organization's on its way up. You just now got to get somebody who's willing to. I know it's a dirty word to say teach when it comes to the professional ranks, but I think it does apply here. You got to get the right person, man or woman, I don't care, to teach these players how to be together. Because the way they're going now, it's like a whole lot of rudders going in all 4 directions.
This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. I don't understand.
And I don't. No, this is painful for me to say. I'd rather watch the Wings.
And he hate everything Dallas. Literally everything Dallas.
You doggone right. You doggone right. I'd rather watch the Wings. That's how bad the Sky are.
Now, Seattle and Phoenix closed out Saturday night with Seattle getting a big road win. 89-77. Skylar Diggins did her thing with 26 points, 7 assists. Gabby Williams also put in 21 with also 7 assists. Good win for Seattle. That's a very good win.
I gotta give it up to that crew. It looks like they want to battle. They want to scrap. They want to claw. And when you have a team that wants to do good, you seem to root for them. And yeah, shout out to the Storm. I think come September, they might be one of those teams where you look at them and you say, well, they're not one of the top 4 seeds, but this might be a team you do not want to see come playoff time. They might be one of those squads, man.
Phoenix too. But
the Mercury's a little different. The Mercury's a little different. They got 2 young studs. They just got to learn, not necessarily those 2 to play together. They got to learn how to make those 2 really shine the way that those 2 are supposed to. The rest of the team has to come up, not necessarily to their level of play, but they got to come up to their level of commitment. If they could do that, I think we'll see the Mercury do some damage. But right now they're trying to figure it out and find out what they are.
Saltu, 22 points, 6 boards, 6 assists.
See the talent's there. The whole team has to come up to commit to make sure that, okay, well, we see the two women giving us the standard. Now we got to rise our standard up to meet theirs. Now their talent won't meet up theirs, but their level of commitment can.
I'll get back to Phoenix in a minute, but Sunday we had a couple of games. After surprising the Atlanta Dream, they took a trip to DC, and the Connecticut Suns just got
they got mollywopped. They got mollywopped. And this was a systemic mollywop. This wasn't like, oh, we'll let them play for a half in the third quarter. They just poured on. No, this was a methodical butt whooping. This is one of those. This this 7-year-old boy is just a bad boy. He's a brat. Snotty nose. Nose running to where it was bubbling. Fool got sticky fingers, and I'm not talking about honey. He gets in fights all the time, and you get the opportunity to just put him on your lap and wear that behind hot with the thickest belt you got for 2 hours. That's what this was.
Washington is getting scary.
What I told you, man. All they need to do is just know what type of team they are, and like I said, just get to know what type of team they are. They figure it out. They will, at worst, be spoilers for teams in the East. At best, they're gonna sneak into a playoff spot and mess a contender up.
Brittany Sykes 28 points, 6 Mystics in double figures, including both rookies. Centron with 11, Elephant with 12. You know what the scary part is? They still missing a rookie. Next year when she comes back, and I mean Georgia Amore, that's more. That's another score. And Washington is definitely heading in the right direction.
Well, all teams aren't ready to contend. All teams aren't circling the drain. You got teams that they rebuild, and now they got to see what the product looks like after they rebuilt. So that's where the Mystics are, and it looks like they're a little bit ahead of schedule.
Washington is coming. Y'all better be ready. And then the aforementioned third meeting between the Lynx and the Wings. And
shout out to the WNBA. I'm so glad you wanted to punish the Wings by having them play the Lynx 3 times and within a month.
This is torture.
Schedule them 3 more times in another month.
And the clear front runner for MVP is not stopping no time soon.
Nafisa Collier is coming for the number 1 spot, and it's looking like it's going to be hers now, going away. Because although I will still say A'ja Wilson is the best player in the game, I will still say that to this day, to this moment. What is it now? June 9, 2025. She's the best player in the game. The way Miss Collier is cooking in this season, and the way the Lynx are cooking with her, yeah, she's that woman.
28 more points, 10 more boards. Therefore, and guess what? They got their sniper better than Kayla McBride. Let's look at the stats. Let's look at the stats. Good gracious.
Now the question is, who is going to put any monkey wrench in the Lynx plans? Because it looks like this team is focused on 2 things: for Nafisa Collier to get an MVP, and for the Lynx to hoist up another WNBA championship.
Oh my gosh. The only team that scares me as a Liberty fan is that team right there.
As they should. They should scare you. Because they're the most cohesive unit going right now in the game today. So, I mean, and they decided to play with the Wings a little bit in the first half, and then even the third quarter. The fourth quarter, like, you ain't even in our league. Let's show you why.
I mean, if y'all remember, I gave you the Wings schedule. Minnesota's on there 3 times.
I think I might like the WNBA now. They're gonna schedule the Lynx to play the Wings 3 times. I like that.
3 times.
Beat the Wings down.
We ain't even hit a month yet, and they already had 3 meetings with the Wings. Oh my gosh.
Beat the Wings, Dan. I love it.
Good Lord. And the fact is, the Wings haven't even met the Aces yet. They ain't meet the Liberty yet. They ain't even run the Indiana yet. Man. But before we go to the upcoming games, there's a couple of things I need to talk about.
Okay. All ears.
So this is where the complaining stops for me.
Complaining about?
Because now players are complaining about how different the WNBA is all of a sudden.
Excuse me?
And mostly you can thank Caitlin Clark for it, but don't y'all want to get paid like y'all supposed to get paid? Don't y'all want the notoriety that y'all want to have, right?
Wait. You're saying the players are complaining about the difference?
Mm-hmm. Let's go to the ATL to begin this off with one Brittany Griner.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Brittany Griner says, quote, every time we play her, Caitlin Clark, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there watching on purpose. Is very disruptive. Close quote.
So you're not used to playing in front of, you're not used to playing in front of 17, 18, 19, 20,000. That's what they do, Griner. Now, if you're actually busier about wanting things to be on the court and looking like a man, then maybe we'll have another issue to talk about. But besides that, the mouth is shut.
And weren't the players complaining about not having the accommodations, the attention, the treatment that they felt like they should get, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what comes with it.
Yeah. I mean, you get more eyeballs. That means you get more money. That means you get more notoriety. That means you get more focus on the league. Isn't that what y'all were whining about for years on end? Now you have it. Oh, I get it. It's coming in the package that you don't like. Because it's a white girl from the Midwest who looks like Dustin Diamond. So be it. It's here. Take it and run with it.
The WNBA is being lifted up because of the presence of Caitlin Clark. Right or wrong, it is what it is.
Yeah, show your shoulders and say, all right, cool. Now it's time for me to get my money, and it's time for me to get my notoriety too.
It's time for me to get busy on the court.
Yeah. Let me up my game so people can talk about me, and maybe I can draw similarly to that of one Caitlin Clark. Think that way instead of, great. So the golden goose, it's a toxic goose. Ugh, really?
And the thing is, she's
Really?
not even the toxic one.
She isn't toxic. No. In fact, I can't really think of Caitlin Clark being even better, any better than she has been in terms of being that golden goose. But that's the
media.
Yeah, that's the label that she's been given.
But I'll get to them in a minute because one of my good players had something to say, and I have to challenge her too. Satu Sabali.
I have to say after that. What's her quote?
Oh, you already know. So, quote: we had 9 games in 18 days. That isn't really responsible for a commissioner. You're playing 44 games this season. You're pretty much playing almost every other day.
Yes, it is. 9 games in 18 days. Be glad it's 9 games in 18 days and it's not 11 or 12 because it can be. Come on.
You're playing more games now. You're gonna have some back to back. Y'all want to get treated like the NBA, right? You want to go to 82 games?
I want to hear you all if you do go to 82 games. I want to hear you all say this sucks. This isn't fair. This isn't right. The commissioner is ruining the game. I want to hear that too.
Y'all want all these demands, but don't think about what it takes to get these demands.
But don't want the work that comes with it.
Caitlin Clark is here. She has raised the level of the WNBA.
Yeah, and what I love about this, and Playmaker's gonna love what I'm about to say. I love Caitlin Clark and what she's done to the WNBA. But when Juju Watkins gets into the game,
by the time Juju gets in the game, y'all might be playing 50 games.
When Juju gets into the WNBA, ooh.
Come on, now.
You think the level that you have progressed to is steep with Caitlin?
And you know Juju gonna get the attention. Matter of fact, she plays at USC. She plays in California.
All she has to do is have one of the seasons in the WNBA like she has had at USC, and she's more than capable of doing that. And I know I'll be hearing a whole lot of you say, but she getting all the attention. I want all your mouths to be fixed to say that about her. You know what I will say in return? That should be you, but you're playing. She ain't.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave my ladies to understand the task at hand. I need y'all to understand the task at hand. Because now y'all putting it out there into the world, the negative stuff. Because y'all, I was saying, the world's starting to find y'all don't know how to handle the notoriety all of a sudden. That's what y'all showing us right now. Y'all don't know how to handle the notoriety. Y'all don't know how to handle the attention that is coming to the WNBA.
Yeah, it's too overwhelming for many of you. And it's a shame. This is what you wanted. This is what you cried about it before Caitlin Clark was ever even discussed, even on the college level. You cried about it. Hey, with a little injury it could over here, we play just like the guys do. We play as hard as they do. You know, we play. You know,
and some like me would say better than the guys.
I've said it before. I've said it now, and I've been saying it. The way the WNBA players do, they play a more fundamental style of basketball than the men do. But you all were happy doing it. Hey, we're over here. We're not being noticed. Woohoo! Throw money in our direction. Throw cameras on our face. Throw sponsorships in our direction. You got all of that now. And look at you. You got all the cameras you could want. You get more money. You're now not flying coach as much. You're getting everything that you were saying that you all deserved and you felt as though earned. And now the expectations are too much. Come on now. Come on now. You got to do better than that.
I'm going to need y'all to get it together. Step up. It's put up a shut up time. We have told y'all. Once Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese came into the league, it's a wave coming. The next wave has come.
Mm-hmm.
Sunyon Centrons, Kiki Aaron doing their thing in Washington. Whenever Tyler Marsh figure it out in Chicago and unlock Haley Van Lake, she's going to be a problem. The Golden State Valkyries, we just saw what they did to the Las Vegas Aces on Saturday, and that's one of Coach Johnson's favorite teams thus far, which is the Aces, and they did a number on them.
Yeah, they did beat the Aces down. I'm like, woo. Yeah, this is not a expansion team in terms of how you normally look at them.
The waves is coming. They are not stopping no time soon. This train is not coming off the tracks no time soon.
And it should not come off the tracks. Because what you're all witnessing, WNBA players, not the ones who aren't complaining, the ones who are, is a better brand of basketball, a higher level of basketball, along with more attention coming to the game. Embrace that and try to raise your level along with it.
Now, the only thing that I need to complain about when it comes to the great commissioner of the WNBA, I'm gonna need y'all to work on the scheduling part. Why is y'all scheduling games the same day as the NBA Finals?
They got to play these games, bro.
Dude, the NBA Finals didn't start till last Thursday.
True.
They didn't have no game last Wednesday. The WNBA didn't schedule no games last Wednesday.
Well, they figured their girls needed some rest. They scheduled games last night or yesterday.
They sure did. And then one of it was on national television.
Because their thought was, we had the spotlight Saturday. We're going to rule the roost Saturday. So what if
Saturday didn't do y'all no favors? Because watching this put in the sky at 8 p.m. didn't do nobody any favors.
But I think also what people have to understand is it's a learning process. The NBA had to learn this lesson too. I mean, when Magic Bird came to the league in 1979, they didn't know exactly what they had as to the phenomenon of those two, probably until I'd say 1982. And mind you, 81, that's 3 full years that they had played in the league at the time. Three full times around. Magic already won 2 rings, and Bird already won 1. They didn't really know what they had until then, and that was when the NBA got together with CBS and said, "All right." So, the 2 biggest names, whether you had the wonderful talent, which you did, all across the league, because yes, you had your Dr. J's, you had a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you had your Moses Malones, but the two players that were all eyeballs are on, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. So we got to find a way to put these 2 on TV every single Sunday. That started in 1983. And mind you, before then, every playoff game, including the finals, were tape delayed. That stopped in 1983, well, at least the finals in 1983. And then the playoffs in 1984 all were live, the way we see it now. And the Celtics and Lakers hooked up. They win 7 games. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Game 7 was the highest rated basketball game outside of when Bird and Magic played in 1979 for the national championship ever in history of basketball. So even the big daddy had to learn how to market the product well and how to appease the players at the same time. It was a learning process with them. It's also going to be a learning process with the WNBA. I mean, now they have to deal with prosperity. This is the first year where they've had to deal with coming close to breaking even. Now, I don't think they've been able to say that in the previous 26 years that the league has been in existence. So now you have a league that's prosperous, and I don't give a crap how they became prosperous, but you got a league who is. Now they have to learn how to make the cash cow look good and make the rest of the league look good too, and not say, well, yeah, our league is Caitlin Clark and then it's the rest of you heifers. The league has to be careful about doing that. So it's a learning process.
I hope y'all learn it before Juju arrives.
Well, they're gonna have to learn it before she arrives, and but to go along that same line. So they had the NBA had their big game, the big series Lakers Celtics in the spring / early summer 1984. Let me see who got drafted that summer. Oh yeah, at number 3, Michael Jordan. So the way my watch is working, all right, WNBA, you got 2 years to figure this out. Because I think Juju will probably be coming out probably 2027. You got 2 years to figure this out. Because when she comes to the league, you got to have all your I's dotted, all your T's crossed, all your ducks in a row. Because when that phenomenon happens, you got to do everything right by her. Because you got to prove that you've done everything right by the ones who were the cash cows and the golden geese before her.
To the week ahead. Tonight, the Valkyries and the Sparks meet for a third time. They split the first 2 meetings. Round 3 is in sunny Los Angeles. I want to see how the Valkyrie handle coming off a nice good old whooping of the Aces. How would they back it up against the Sparks?
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, tomorrow, doubleheader. ESPN 3/7:30, Indiana Fever, with a possible return of Caitlin Clark down in the ATL to take on Alicia Gray in the Atlanta Dream. And then 30 minutes later at 8 p.m., ESPN. Oh my gosh. The Chicago Sky is on national television at 8 p.m. again. And not all the teams they got to go against.
Oh, going against the defending champs.
The New York Liberty. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, look.
This is the first meet between the two, and we already did it in a number on Connecticut.
Well, I mean, it's time for them to take their medicine. Put it like that. Look, we had many in that same parallel. We had many a game between what was a real bad team in the early 80s. Let me see. I'll probably say the Kings, because after 80, I think they were horrible. So you had a lot of games between the Kings and the Lakers. Now we have the Sky going against the Liberty. Learn, Sky, learn.
Where are they gonna learn how to get beat by 50?
Well, they gotta learn how a team looks, how a cohesive team is supposed to look, how a champion is supposed to conduct themselves, and how to be a unit, how to be a team on both sides of the floor, how to not be selfish on the defensive end and talk and communicate with one another, and how offensively they play to their strengths, no matter who the opponent is. They'll learn that when they get mollywopped in Brooklyn.
That's tomorrow.
Move to the MSG.
Wednesday.
You should call yourself the Brooklyn Liberty.
3 games, all of them at 10 p.m.
You heard what I said, Playmaker. Petition them. Move them back. Move them back to the guard. They shouldn't be in Barclays. They ain't the Brooklyn Liberty.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Fine. It is broke. That's why they got fixed and moved them out of MSG.
That's New York Knicks' fault. And I mean the ownership.
Well, well, I'll respect your platform, because I could go an hour on clowning Mr. Dolan.
That's why he lied, because he know I'm right.
Mr. I want to set a Guinness Book of World Records for how many kazoos are played in the arena. Sure. And no, that's the truth.
New York, the Liberty moved to Barclays Center, and we not had no problem since.
Well, then you should change the name to Brooklyn instead of New York. the Brooklyn Liberty.
They're still New York.
Well, yeah. Well, that means you must need a conversation, a deep in depth conversation with Dre and Wise.
No, I don't.
Two Brooklynites that we both know.
There's only one WNBA team in the state of New York.
I know, but there's only one borough that's named Brooklyn. And you know with Dre, I know with Dre too, and we both know with Wise. If you ask them where they're from, they don't say New York. They say
Brooklyn. Yeah, I know.
We're from the BK. They both proudly say that.
The New York Yankees play in the Bronx.
But they don't call themselves the Bronx Yankees.
The New York Mets play in Queens.
But they don't call themselves the Queens Mets.
Okay, we all the different boroughs, I know.
And the Jets and Giants, they play in New Jersey, but they don't call themselves the Jersey. Although we did have a dummy who wanted to sue the NFL because of the fact they didn't play in New York, but they played in New Jersey. But I digress.
Like I said earlier, scheduling problems. 3 games Wednesday, all of them at 10.
Well, so I guess it means the East Coast ain't gonna watch these games. But it's understandable. 1 game's in Las Vegas, 1 game's in Phoenix, 1 game's in Seattle, and all of them are in the Pacific time zone.
The one game that's being nationally televised on CBS Sports Network, Las Vegas hosting the Sparks.
Now you can petition this playmaker, Arizona. When we turn the clocks back an hour, they'll become mountain time. So you could say, well, you all should stay being a mountain time zone, and these games could be an hour earlier. We could have this tip up at 9 Eastern instead of 10 in the summertime.
But hey, that's your games for the week. Because guess what? There's no games Thursday, but that's Friday. You know why that's so interesting?
Say it like that with such huge shade.
You know why? Because game 3 is Wednesday and game 4 is Friday.
Well, see, that's why you have these tip-offs. They're thinking, well, okay, the tip-off of that game between the Thunder and the Pacers, it'll probably be 8. So they'll probably wind down about 11-ish, maybe. And then we can give them great action 3 down in a row in Vegas, in the desert, and the Pacific Northwest.
How about y'all move Minnesota and Seattle to Thursday?
Well, I mean,
let the people watch the front runner of the MVP, Nafisa Carr, go against Skylar Diggins.
Well, you see where all these games on. None of them on ESPN.
No.
And none of them on any type of cable TV. Well, I take that back. CBS Sportsnet will have the Aces at home against the Sparks, but still.
Why
you
not
get no eyeballs whatsoever on this unless you either paid for it or you are local.
Put a game in between the finals. They play Wednesday, they play Friday. That means Thursday is open. There you go.
Well, they all got to travel.
Which is why that's my only problem with the WNBA.
Again, learning process. I guarantee you, when they understand the money is adversely affected, they'll tweak and change that. That won't be a problem. I guarantee you. I won't say next year, but I guarantee you, by the time Juju gets into the league, which I said it on this platform, that'll be 2027. Because she gonna be on the 2028 Olympic team. So I was saying 2027, she's gonna be in a WNBA uniform. Those problems will be gone because you get many of these players that will actually say like what you said earlier. They'll get to the commissioner and they'll get to these owners and they say, "Wait a minute, the schedule sucks, and the broadcast schedule sucks even worse." Now we're not drawing the eyeballs like they do like they do with the NBA Finals. Even though people saying, "Well, the NBA Finals ain't being seen by nobody." Shut up. We know we're not drawing those types of eyeballs. So why are we competing against the NBA? That doesn't make sense. The commissioner and those owners will hear enough of that. There'll be too much pressure for them to not change it.
Speaking of which, when we come back, the WNBA Finals.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
In a world where chronicles of the past are brought to the streams, whether the content is relatable or completely beyond your realm of life, there is no shadow of a doubt that this show is absolutely full of shenanigans. Get ready for
D. Willie in the Evening.
This Sunday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern.
Exclusively on Sartoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
Shop hats and official sports gear at Lids. Lids is the leader and #1 destination for hats, gears, and everything that moves you, making it the perfect shop for fans to find official sports hats, merchandise, and gear. Represent your team, your town, and your style with a snapback adjustable fitted hat or beanie from thousands of college and pro teams. Browse the very latest sports jerseys and t-shirts from the best teams out there. Lids has officially licensed professional and college sport team apparel and hats featuring the hottest brands and trends. Shop online or visit one of the 100 stores across the country. Locker Rooms by Lids.
Again, it's the NBA Finals. The WNBA Finals will be in about 4 months.
Hopefully my Liberty is back in that finals. To the NBA Finals we go. The Indiana Pacers out of the East. The Oklahoma City out of the West. Game 1.
Dun, 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 dun.
The Oklahoma
Thunder.
City Thunder had a 15-point lead.
Thunder. There ain't no half stepping.
And then the Indiana Pacers grabbed their first ever lead of the game with 0.3 seconds
left
in the game.
Ain't no half stepping, Thunder. What did I tell you 2 weeks ago, Mr. Playmaker, about the Thunder? The one issue I have with them is you got SGA boogieing. Who's going to boogie with them? And we saw that the last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter. And you had a lot of morons, including national media, saying, well, SGA faltered down the stretch. He put up 38. Well, I mean, and he had the ball. He took the last shot of the Thunder. Okay, so it missed. Whoopee. It happens.
Pascal Siakam, 19 points, 10 boards. Tyrese Haliburton, 14 points, 10 boards, 6 assists, 6 Pacers in double figures.
And Tyrese had the biggest 2 points of the game.
You want to take this slide? I kind of figured I was going to create this, and I thought you probably like to take this slide.
Well, thank you, sir. You see, you got Tyrese Haliburton And there's been a reason why we know his name, especially in the 2025 playoffs. And this is why. Let's go into the first round, shall we? Game 5. They were at home against the Bucks. The Bucks in overtime were up 7 with about 45 seconds left. Tyrese was like, "Oh, not a problem." Mr. Haliburton gave the Bucks the game-winning layup with 1.3 seconds left, and then we saw hilarity ensue in Gainesbridge Fieldhouse, and John Haliburton talking mad trash in the face of Giannis Antetokounmpo. And of course, that put the Pacers into the next round as they gentlemen swept the Bucks. Then we get to the meeting between the Pacers and the Bucks. Game 2, similar scenario. The Cavs had double-digit leads all throughout the game until the last minute or so. And they were up 7 with, I think, about 50 seconds to go in the game. And then Haliburton was on the free throw line. He bricked the second shot. He got his own rebound, played with the Cavs defense for a little while, dribbled out almost to the top of the key, and hit a game-winning 3 with 1 second left. But wait, there's more. Let's go to the Eastern Conference Finals, as he did his number in the semifinals. Let's go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 1, where the Knicks had the Pacers down 17 with about 5 minutes to go, 14 with about 3 minutes to go, and 9 with about a minute to go. Now, this wasn't a game winner because, well, Mr. Haliburton's feet is just a little bit too big. Because if his feet were about 3 inches smaller, this would be yet another game winner. But it was a game-tying jumper to force an overtime, and the Pacers won that game. And basically, that game turned the series, even though it was game 1. Oh, speaking of game 1, let's talk about game 1 of the finals. Mr. Haliburton did it one more time, this time against really the best defense in the playoffs, in the Thunder. After a miss, rebound was gathered. Siakam got the pass out the rebound, and then he handed the ball off to Haliburton, and he dribbled it to the right spot where he took about a 19, 20-foot jumper, which got nothing but net with 0.3 seconds to go, and the Thunder had the lead all the way until that shot. 4 games in 4 different levels in the playoffs where we got a chance to see Tyrese Haliburton maybe not have the greatest of games, but he had the biggest of moments. And it goes to what I've heard in wrestling, and I've actually heard with football and baseball and basketball too. Sometimes it's not about the contribution. Sometimes it's about moments. Hence why you have a lot of people who think Robert Horry deserves to be a Hall of Famer. Because although he has 7 rings with no losses, maybe for the exception of the second ring, he really wasn't a big contributor game in and game out with the rest of the 6 rings he wore. But you can, in every single one of those 7 championship seasons, you can point to moments in the playoffs or in the finals where you had him hit a big bucket when you least expect it. And if you didn't hit that bucket, the fortunes of the team would have turned different, and they would have either been eliminated at some point, or they would have had to struggle harder at some point. We're seeing this with Tyrese Haliburton, and whether the Pacers win this series and they come up with the Larry O'Brien Trophy or not, we're going to have to talk about Mr. Haliburton. We're going to have to talk about him because he is the guy who seems to be the engine that makes this whole Pacers team run. And he plays on the fringe. Sometimes he plays like a shooting guard. Sometimes he plays like a point guard. Most times he actually acts like a point guard. So I give him mad credit that he doesn't try to force his way into, give me 20 shots a game. Although I think sometimes he may need to insert himself and assert himself more in that regard. But if the rest of the Pacers are like, look, number 0, you the guy. If we're within striking range and we have the ball with about 20 seconds or less left, do your thing, Tyrese. Do your thing. So, Mr. Tyrese Haliburton, yes, you are now the latest version of Mr. Clutch. You actually might be called Mr. May and June because you just keep on hitting big-time shots with little to no time remaining. And if you keep this up, you might hit one of these shots, and we actually might hear Indiana Pacers NBA world champs eventually because of one of their shots. But yeah, congrats to you, Tyrese. I mean, you're showing why big players step up in big moments, even when seemingly you don't have the ability to affect the game probably in the way you would like in the, 40, 45, 46, 47 minutes that precedes it. But yeah, I look at Tyrese, and this is what I see. I see a man who he wants to influence the team, but he wants to do it in a way like Isaiah Thomas did with the Bad Boy Pistons, like Chris Paul did with many teams, like with John Stockton, how he did with the Jazz in the mid 80s and all the 90s, where it did not necessarily mean he had to score all the time, but the points could be there and he could score. Here's something that I think we're going to be saying about Haliburton, like what I think it was Celtics versus Lakers series, documentary series, where Kevin McHale was actually asked about Magic Johnson and Larry Bird as juxtaposed to the rest of the talent that were on both teams. And McHale actually said, quote, "Here you have two guys who were real similar in mindset, similar in passion, similar in focus, and similar in intent, where they could give you 7 to 10 boards. They could give you 7 to 12 assists, and they can only shoot the ball 12 times. And you know that they are the best players by far on the court." Close quote. Haliburton is sort of that ilk. He is sort of cut from that cloth, where he is the guy who he doesn't need to have 20 shots in a game, but he wants to affect how the flow is. And should you need him at the end of games, give it to him. And I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the fact that you could be the best player on the court or one of the best players on the court, and you don't have to put 30 points on the board to do it. You just have to be big when the moments mean most. Enter the Pacers, Tyrese Haliburton.
Every single series.
Yeah. One game every single series.
This man does not fold when the moment arrives.
Mm-mm. No. No.
You don't want to call him a superstar? Perfectly fine with that. I don't want my superstar.
Stephen A. Smith.
Superstar, when you look at a superstar, you know night in, night out what you expect from them. That's not Tyrese Haliburton.
And the thing is, it doesn't have to be him.
And it don't have to be. He's a star. Doesn't matter.
Right.
He ain't superstar. I'm cool with that. He's a star though. But I'm gonna say this again. This is part one of the time the Coach Johnson might want to have his dead horse video on this one.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah.
I still haven't heard from the NBA players. I still haven't heard from y'all yet.
This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation.
Just saying, y'all call that man overrated.
That was the best thing that Tyrese
Overrate that.
That was the best thing that Tyrese Haliburton could have ever heard. And this was before the playoffs began. That was the best thing he could have ever heard. He's like, overrated, huh? How about these buckets? How about these buckets? You might as well be Booker T every time Tyrese Haliburton gets the ball. Swish. Yeah. You might as well.
I mean, the man is Mr. Clutch. And the most important part of the entire NBA season.
You might as well call him Mr. May and Mr. June.
Game on the line. You better hope Indiana don't have the ball. It's gonna be in number zero's hand.
Well, no, game on the line, and they're within 3 points. Yeah, within 3 points. 20 seconds or under. And you do not, and the pace with the ball, you do not want Haliburton to touch it. Because he has proven against the Bucks, the Cavs, the Knicks, and now the Thunder. He will break your heart every single time when that scenario takes place.
And Cole's favorite one is the Cleveland Cavalier one.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is what pisses me off. Not Haliburton, the Cavs. How the heck you have him on the line? He bricks a free throw. You don't box him out. Forget not boxing up. You don't box him out. He gets the board. He plays around with your dumb behinds. He dribbles to the top of the key and swishes a three in your face. You deserve that L. You deserve that L.
Because at first, it was all about the Bucks for Coach Johnson. As y'all heard him as he broke it down from 45 seconds to 20 seconds down to like 5 seconds until Tyrese Haliburton drove past Giannis for the layup. And then the Cavs decided to say, hold my beer.
Mm-hmm.
Miss free throw.
Box the free throw shooter out. I mean, how is that possible?
The number one team in the East choked away game 2 in Cleveland.
And
Shout out to Victor.
Double-digit lead.
Shout out to Victor for that one.
Yes.
In Cleveland.
Yeah, double-digit lead, and you choked that one away. Didn't even, but see, at least the Bucks and the Bucks and the Knicks had the dignity to have their L take place in overtime. No, Cavs are like, let's get this over with. Let's make this collapse even more monumental and not even waste overtime.
Man. And then me and Cole Johnson, we talked about it on Facebook. Oklahoma City Thunder. And I put it out there. Oklahoma City, y'all didn't learn from the previous opponents of the Indiana Pacers. Because if you did, you would have known no lead is safe with them.
Well, you said it yourself too, and so did I. They didn't learn from their own series with the Nuggets. Game 1 there too, where they had a 15-point lead there as well. And the Nuggets chipped away at that lead, chipped away in that lead, and you had an Aaron Gordon 3. Make that wonderful arena that is loud and very collegiate a mausoleum. You didn't learn. Didn't learn.
So that was game 1. And then game 2 took place. And per usual, Oklahoma City verted back to Oklahoma City.
Yeah. OKC played the way they normally would play, which I was proud of them. I was proud that they bounced back. They did what they normally do in terms of they let the defense spark everything else. And then when the defense sparks everything else and they jump out to huge leads, it's very difficult to catch them because they keep playing defense on you too. And that's what we saw.
You say his name and he appears.
I believe in Victor Locke. I believe in Victor Locke.
You is full of wrestling references today. Do you need to join another show today? Think you done like 4 wrestling references on today.
You had the nerve to say his name and he appears. You had the nerve to say that. I was like, oh, I'll roll with it. but the Devil's Kiss Booker T one, I had to roll with that one. Because that's how we are, man, watching Tyrese last seconds. The game's on the line. Swish. Yeah.
It says OKC has a very bad habit of playing with their food.
And this is the problem with them. They're young. They're a young bunch. They're talented and deep, and they got the best player in 2025 on their squad. But the problem that I have is who is going to step up routinely and be the number 2 guy?
Here's the crazy thing.
Because it can't switch. It cannot switch.
Say Gillis, I think he scored 8 points in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even see him in the second quarter. And yet this man still got 34 points.
He scores his points in a very quiet manner. It's like, wow. And he does it with the flow of he does it with the flow of the game and with the flow of their offense. Like you don't really see, I mean, he can do it and he's done it, but you don't necessarily see like the spectacular posterization or the clutch 3. And not saying he can't do those things, but you don't see it. It's more along the lines of you look up and it's like, wow, he got 34. Like the game before, he scored 38. And I'm like, got 38? How you scoring up 38? And of course, a lot of that has to do with the fact that he hits the shots when the flows in offense, and he also goes to the line a bunch.
But it's one reason why I picked OKC, because I knew y'all not gonna keep him off the line. I know Indiana ain't gonna
they're gonna keep him off the line. He's gonna get at least 10.
Cause y'all crazy enough to foul Jalen Brunson out there. Y'all,
he's gonna get at least 10 a game from the line.
If I know y'all foul Jalen Brunson crazy, and we talking about the MVP here, I already know what's coming for him. Oh, you say who else is going to join the party? Well, this time it was Caruso with a 20-piece, and he ain't known for scoring.
And that's the issue I have with the Thunder. It's somebody's going to have to be number 2, and then when you don't have that number 2, what you saw in the fourth quarter, game 1, that happens.
But
they can't have that happen. They cannot have that happen 3 more times, but it's possible it can. That's the problem.
To the 2 suspects you're referring to, Hungry had 15 and 6 boards. Williams had 19 with 5 boards and 5 dimes. So
they did well last night, and I think if they can, they either one of them has to step up and say, all right, come to me, either when SGA is on the bench or when SGA is being smothered in coverage, or they're going to have to actually commit to do this by committee.
I would like to see Aaron Wiggins get a lot more playing time, because he was boogieing when he got his opportunity. He came out there and dropped 18. You literally got 38 from your bench from 2 players. That's from 2 players. So I can see Aaron Wiggins getting some more minutes, because that man can play some ball.
Yeah. So I'm proud of SGA. He could have gotten down after game 1. I mean, he had the last shot for the Thunder. It went in and out, and Haliburton did his thing on the other end after that rebound. he decided to still be aggressive. He still decided to attack, and he still decided to lead his team. And that's the mark of a true. That's the mark of a true.
To be honest,
professional.
SGA is a mild mannered person.
Yeah, he doesn't get. I think someone I forgot who said it. Somebody said it's like it's just. I wanted to get animated. He doesn't get up. He doesn't get down. He's just even tempered.
Even when they announced that he won the MVP and he was talking to Ernie and them, just mild mannered. It's like it is what it is. I know my hard work is showing off. It's showing up. And but hey, I ain't do it alone.
No. Mm-mm. He's not. I'm happy for him.
And I think that's the difference in both of these teams. Like Tyrese Haliburton, he's mild mannered too. He don't really get too high, too down.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you. I fully agree with you. Yeah. Look, I said I'm proud of SGA. I'm proud of him. Well, his season's over. Now he can get back. Now the focus could be on them hotel rooms and the bedrooms. Now he can tell more hoes get abortions when he says they're pregnant. Plow them juice boxes, Aunt. Plow them. Beat it down with that joystick. You disappointed your team. You disappointed your team yet again in the Western Conference Finals. And then you claim that you did not feel as though that you shouldn't feel sad because you might have more cracks at it. Son, you're the best player in the team. This talk is why you are not the face of the league. So since you don't want to be the face of the league, that's fine. Plow them O's. Get on. Show them tricks.
I should have known this was coming. I should have known. I should have known the fact that he missed a whole week. That he was going to do something that was not planned on the show. I should have known. I know better. I know better.
What do you mean you know better?
I know better.
What do you mean you know better? I'm just telling facts.
There was no talk about anybody that was not a part of the NBA Finals.
Well, that's why I put it there, Playmaker. That's exactly why. He ain't part of the NBA Finals. Now he can plow them juice boxes.
He was not supposed to be on my show.
That's all I'm saying. He's not part of the NBA Finals, so now he can go back to plowing juice boxes and telling hoes that he gets pregnant to get abortions. But someone who he is though. The game 2, son. We got to put it down now. Get off.
Yeah, a lot of people want to talk about him in game 2. I mean, he did lead the Pacers with 17 points. So
I know, but he get out them slopes. No ski, son. Play. No snow bunnies.
But now, game 3, the series shifts to Indianapolis, Indiana.
Because after all, son, you're playing against the 2025 Kia Most Valuable Player.
Oklahoma City is making a trip to Gainbridge Fieldhouse, where the Indiana Pacers, they can get their rowdy fans up for the finals now. Are we going by the OKC split 2-2?
I'm not. I really do believe that the Thunder, they will focus, and by the time this weekend comes, I think this series would be 3-1 in the favor of the Thunder. I just don't have faith in the Pacers defensively, and I have more faith in the Thunder defensively to get the Pacers out of what they want to do. The only thing the Pacers can do is just make this a track meet. They got to run up and down the court. They got to force those tongues to wag for the Thunder. The problem is them chaps are young, so they can run with them.
And they're deep as hell.
Mm-hmm. And when I was about to say, when they see one tongue wag, he goes out, another go in. So that's what makes
OKC don't mind. OKC don't mind playing 11 players.
No, they don't. So that's what's going to make the task of the Pacers tougher. Now, if they played like the Knicks, they only had 6 or 7, or they wanted to play a slow down tempo, I would say, yeah, by the time this goes back to OKC, the series is going to be tied 2-2. No.
Here's the Pacers problem. What Wednesday is?
Wednesday is Wednesday. Why?
Wednesday is game 3.
Well, I know that, but okay.
Just like we show how Haliburton has done everything in every series.
Mm-hmm.
The Pacers has lost every single game 3.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
With all of them being
not all of them in
except
Indy.
for Milwaukee.
Yeah,
that one's at Milwaukee, but the other 3 in Indy.
Right.
So if one wants to and feels safe enough to, they say OKC goes up 2-1 after Wednesday. Because for some reason, I don't know what it is with Indiana. When it comes to game 3s, they're not there. They're not there in game 3s. And I don't think this is a series you want to fall down 2-1 and give home court right back to OKC.
You can't take games off with this team, as the Nuggets found out, because they had a 2-1 series lead and they had a lead in game 4. They had a stranglehold on the series, and the Thunder were like, no, you're in a dogfight, and they won game 4, and it was their series from then on out. You cannot take games off. You cannot have quarters off. You cannot you cannot lack focus against the Thunder. You got to play 48 minutes against this team. And you got to be within striking distance to beat them. Otherwise, you might as well give the Larry O'Brien trophy to the Thunder now.
And the Michael Jordan MVP trophy to Shea Gillis.
And the Michael Jordan MVP trophy. No. I'm sorry. The Bill Russell MVP trophy to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
He's gonna take it
because he already has the Michael Jordan trophy, which is, once again, ladies and gentlemen, SGA. He has the Michael Jordan 2025 Kia Most Valuable Player.
He has the Magic Johnson trophy.
He has the Magic Johnson trophy, which is the Finals MVP. Conference Finals MVP, Western Conference. And then he'll have the Bill Russell one. Yeah,
and then if it's going the way that I think it's going to go, he's going to rack up the Bill Russell trophy.
Yeah, because they ain't gonna be. There's not gonna be another Thunder players gonna come in a striking distance of competing for that trophy with him.
Hell, ain't a place a player that's close to him.
Dude attempts more shots in quarters than his team does some of his teammates does in games. Nah, yeah.
That man already got 72 points. We only played 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, by the end of the game, he's gonna be over 100.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's far-fetched that he'll score another 30, 35. I don't think that's far-fetched at all.
He only needs 28. That's like he get that in his sleep.
Mm-hmm. Because he averages what, 32? I mean, this season. So yeah, 28's a bad night for him.
28's a bad night.
I know that sounds crazy, but that's
28 is a bad night for SGA.
I know that sounds crazy, but that's the truth. 28 is a bad night for this year. The 28 is when you have to say, "Oh man, you got D'd up tonight, didn't you, SGA?" Yeah.
You got D'd up, but you put on 28.
But I put on 28. Yeah, you got D'd up though, bro, because that's below your average. Yep.
Do y'all hear how certain this is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man dropped 28. They beat his ass up. That dude dropped 28.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He still got D'd up.
You got D'd up. 28. Gave this man 28, but got D'd up. Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Good grace. That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm. But you be hearing stuff like that. I'm like,
how many players in the league would take a 28-point game right now?
The whole league would. The only other person that I would say that about would probably be Nikola Jokic. Outside of him, the whole league would take a 28-point game.
But we look at SGA. You got your ass beat up.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I put 20 out of this dummy. We still got D'd up. Shut up.
28 and shot 55% from the field. You still got D'd up.
Yeah. Good percentage from the field too. Yeah, you still got D'd up. Shut up.
Jeez.
Now, what the Pacers have to do is, and I'm with you. If they were fouling Brunson as much as they did, then they seem to love to foul SGA as much as they do too. They got to allow SGA to hit shots and not put them on the line.
Which makes what you just said even more absurd because 10 of the 28 coming from the free throw line.
10 of them are gonna come from the line. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he's like the master of the mid-range game right now.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at Devin Booker, we looked at Kevin Durant. SGA don't shoot a lot of threes.
No, he's
in the 30s.
Yeah, he's a mid-range jumper guy, which that's why I love his game. He is a mid-range jumper guy, and he puts pressure on your defense to put them on the line a multitude of times. So what the Pacers have to do defensively is they got to not foul him. They gotta force him to tough shots. And they got to make him not be a visitor at the free throw line in a constant manner. If they could do that, their shot of winning game 3 would be better, and even game 4 would be better. But that's a very tall order because that man knows how to score and that man knows how to get to the line.
Indiana, your best bet is to win Wednesday because if you don't win Wednesday, this series is over.
Yeah,
and I don't care. They only split. If they lose game 3, it is over for them.
No, the goal for the Pacers is to hold serve at home. They got to hold serve. And they did what they needed to do in OKC. They got the one they needed. They got to hold serve now that the series is in Indianapolis for this week. They must hold serve. If not, I'm with you. Even if they split, the series is over.
Do not allow OKC to get control of this series.
And don't have OKC win both, and I believe they will. Don't have them win both games. Oh, you might as well not even travel back to OKC.
Oh Lord, we might even have Pat McAfee on Monday if they win both games.
Oh Lord, if they win, oh Lord, if the Pacers win both games, oh Lord.
If the Pacers win both games, Pat McAfee gonna be everywhere.
He'll be everywhere and insufferable.
If they lose both games, oh Lord. We probably ain't gonna see Pat. Actually, no, I'll take that back. Pat's a different breed. We'll
see him, but he would probably try to do inspiration speeches, and he'll probably inspiration speech us all the pieces, all Monday, both on his show and on Raw.
Hey man, we got our ass kicked. OKC's a hell of a team. They was the best team after the whole season. We got there, we took one from them, but hey, SGA, he SGA for a reason. Mm-hmm. We'll be back next season though.
Mm-hmm. But I can picture it now. Be like, yeah, it looks dark. I mean, it's 3-1. And we're going back to OKC, but we still have a shot. I could see another Tyrese Haliburton jumper to end the game, and he'll send it back to Indianapolis, where Thursday night, Juneteenth, he'll surprise you once again, and we'll go back to OKC next Sunday for Game 7. I could picture him saying that. all throughout the Pat McAfee show and at different intervals on Raw.
Well, hope y'all enjoy that. As me and Kobe get out of here.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. The petition is still on.
Oh, God.
Remember, we want to see LeBron James be a Golden State Warrior. If you want him to trade the purple and gold for the white, blue, and the mustard, sign the petition now. Let's send it to the NBA. Let's go from sea to shining sea, from abyss to summit, and all points of.
You've done good. You've done great. But you can't stop here. You can't stop now. You gotta keep going. Through all your trials and your tribulations, you gotta keep pushing. Now, finish your canvas.
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud. Gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go. Let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you want to follow the podcast, you can follow it on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and a whole lot more. This has been Shooting